This video is basically to talk about how I clean my Graco Finish Pro gun. It is the Edge 2 Plus gun. It may seem fairly straightforward to clean it, and it is the normal way. But what I'm going to do is just show you a way that I've just discovered to do, and I've actually been very happy with it. The first thing I do is I take out the gross liner that I just sprayed with. I take that, put it aside, and I grab an empty liner, and then I put some finish in, or some gun wash in it. Put the lid back on, put it in here, shake it around so that I get this fairly clean. Now it's not perfectly clean, but it gets a lot of the finish off. And then I rinse this out. I dump the excess in a 5-gallon waste pail, which I will dispose of once it gets full of washed material, or rinsed material, I guess. But then I just take a brush. One of your best friends is like a cleaning kit, which has a whole bunch of different brushes and stuff. This is imperative to keeping these things clean. So doing it with a rag is just super frustrating. Just go to your local Harbor Freight, or here in Canada, Princess Auto, and then just get one of these kits, and you can just use that to clean it. Now I'm not spraying paint, I'm spraying a solvent-based post-catalyzed lacquer, which tends to set up fairly quickly. And so I'm just trying to get off as much material as possible, so I get a lot on the outside and go from there. So I'm going to speed this video up, and then I'll come back when I'm done doing this. I take small parts like this, and if they are solvent safe, I suppose, I just soak them. Now that is complete, I'm going to do a couple things here that are a little bit different. So I'm going to take off this front. I'm going to take out the needle set. It is really important to clean all of these parts of the gun, because if it comes up at all in any spot, it'll be bad news. I take a lot of those pieces out and I let them soak. Stuff like this that doesn't get a lot of finish on it, I'll just demolish with my fingers and then buy replacements. No, actually what I do is I just kind of dip a rag and wipe them off, because honestly they don't get a lot of stuff in them. And I usually wear a mask when I do this, but I'm not now, simply because I need to talk to you, and this just doesn't really get it across. So save your hate comments for somebody else. I don't care. Alright, so now this tip set is out. I'm going to remove this whole assembly here. And it's super easy to do. Just a 5/8 wrench, and you remove this nut right here, and it's now loose. And I just wiggle that part out like that. There are parts of this that are loose and come out. So this right here, this holds the polymer, I don't know, washer packing. I don't know exactly what you'd call that. But I'll pull it out here. I grab my little pick. This thing is really useful too. It helps to get all these little parts out. So this is the back. There are 3 parts to this packing. This is what is basically is the gasket for the needle. It's this piece here, and there's 2 more pieces on the inside. If I can get those out. They're pushed in there fairly well, which is good. We want that. So there's this piece, and there's one more in there, which tends to be a bit stubborn, because it has to fit closely, right? So, and if solvent or whatever else builds up on those pieces, it's just really, it starts to gum up your needle, and your needle doesn't snap back as quickly as you need it to, and then material can squirt all over your workpiece that you're trying to finish. So there we are. Come on, sweetheart. We're all friends here. This is where using your needle, the tail end of your needle, can be helpful. Maybe not helpful, maybe damaging. Come on, baby. Here's the other piece. Now these pieces, it's hard to tell from here, and I don't think I'll be able to get it, but this piece is a little bit conical. You can see how it kind of tapers in on this side from over here. This side has a little seat. I don't know if you can see that. Hard for me to tell, but there's an inset right here, and then there's this outside piece here. And basically that conical piece, when you push it in, makes it so this is tighter. So it seats tighter up against your needle. And that's essentially to cause a better seal. And you can adjust that with the little nut at the back here. So I take that apart. As you can see, it's really easy to get this needle nice and clean. All my clean pieces I put to the side. I then will just, and the reason I do this, just to be clear, isn't because I enjoy taking all this stuff apart every time, and it is a little bit time consuming, but if you want your pieces to be nice and clean, you kind of have to make sure you can get to all of them. And I find when I'm holding this thing and trying to clean it all out, it's just really bulky. This thing bangs around a lot. And I don't like doing that. I like being able to do this. And if it's super, super dirty and you're having lots of problems, you just take it apart, soak it, and go from there. I haven't had any troubles with gaskets yet, mostly because the parts that have gaskets like here and here, I don't really soak for very long. But it's really important to get all that material out of there, especially if you're working with like a catalyzed solvent-based material, because it'll harden up and then you're going to have a really hard time getting that clean. Okay, so that's pretty darn clean there. And really this takes very little time to come apart. They've designed it in a way that's very easy to clean. I'm pretty happy with it. But it is a chore. But I mean, honestly, I'd rather have this than have to remake a workpiece because something got screwed up because it dripped on a countertop or a door or something like that. I do not want that. So. Now, all these pieces here are clean, so I can thread this back in, but before I do that, you want to make sure that you have this on. And thread that back in. I don't thread it too tightly because this is aluminum. And I don't want to damage the threads, so that's good right there. I'll take the pieces out that were in there, clean all those, and then I'll talk about reassembling after I get everything clean. Okay, all our pieces are now ready to reassemble. If you have these little packing pieces here, these little plastic pieces, the one with the groove in it, I don't know if that's focusing or not, but the one with the groove in it goes at the front. And then the one with that's conical, the thin or the narrow side goes into that groove. So they fit together like that. And then this piece goes on the tail end. Okay? We get those, put those back in. Also, if you're having problems with leaks, that could be a cause. You might have to replace those pieces. I'm not sure the part numbers. Okay, but those go in like that, and then you take this nut here, or it's not bolt, I don't know what you call it, fitting, I don't know. Now you don't have to make that tight, because basically the tighter you wind that up, the harder it's going to be for this needle to go through. If I loosen that up, if I tighten it up, makes it harder. And that registers off of this smooth piece on your needle. If you see over here, it's kind of unpolished, and then right here in the middle, it's pretty polished. This is what that assembly seats on. So it travels from, let's see here, from here to there and back. So it goes like that. Okay, now this is all back together. It can go back on the body of the gun. You can also check the gun. Usually there's not any finish on there, but if there is, you take it off. You also want to make sure that your nut is kind of sitting here, because if you want to take off the trigger, you can. But if you don't take off the trigger, then you can't really get that nut. It doesn't have enough clearance to put it on after you put that piece in. You kind of have to wiggle it in, and it friction fits in there, and then this nut will thread on. Remember, none of this really has to be terribly tight. That there, it doesn't seal against anything. It just holds this body onto, or this part onto the body of the gun. You can put your needle back in the correct way. The info on how to take the needle in and out is actually in the handbook, so always give those a good read. You might have information that you're like, oh, this doesn't do anything for me, but a lot of times it has some little tidbits that you're like, oh, that makes sense. Okay, now that's like that. And then I will clean this a little bit because I want it to be pretty. Overspray I had on there off. All right, there we are. The gun's all back together. It's clean. And if you noticed how little material I used to clean this gun, very small amount. You don't need a bunch. Honestly, the most that I use is to rinse out this here, but that's not even that much. Probably this is as much as I use to clean the entire gun. Very little. The less you use, obviously, the less expensive it is, but also the less exposure you have. All right, well, that is all. I hope that helps somebody out. I hope that you got some tips, maybe some better information about why your gun's not working correctly. I really like this gun. It works really well. It's a little bulky compared to a regular, like say, gravity-fed cup gun running off of compressed air, but honestly, for what it is, it's a great system that's very mobile and sprays a good quality finish, in my opinion. I spray mostly catalyzed lacquers, water-based sometimes. I barely ever spray paint. So anyway, I hope that was informative. Thanks for watching.